I'm Corey. I took a long time break from martial arts and then came back to start training with my son probably about 8-9 years ago, and got bitten by the bug and started training myself, and which led up to, in the photo, the last fight I had, which was I think about 5 years ago. From memory, that's a picture out there of the face-off between me and Michael. Just before my last MMA fight. It was a big achievement for me. I'd made 93 kilos. It's the lightest I'd been in a long time. Worked pretty hard to get down to that weight and was pretty excited. And it was a step up, it was the next level MMA fight for me. So yeah, it was probably the pinnacle of, you know, 3 or 4 years of hard work of being an overweight single dad to, you know, losing overall close to 50 kilos and having an MMA fight.
As you said, he was coming from heavyweight to light heavyweight. He was probably walking around at about 115 kilos. Then 3 weeks later, he has to come down to 93.4 kilos. Not too many people would have been able to do that. In fact, he's the only one that I've heard of that's able to successfully be able to do that. And to get in there and give us the performance that he did was just a testament to his strength and tenaciousness.
I didn't know I'd made weight, so I knew I was getting pretty close. So I've walked in and into the gym that afternoon for the weigh-ins, walked up to the scales, thinking I was pretty close, and looking down on the scales and seeing that 93 kilos, 93.0, I'd nailed it.
In our blue corner, his opponent at 93 kilos even, fighting out of the Fight Cross MMA gym, Corey Smith.
It's funny because Michael I'd known for a couple of years, and he was someone I looked up to. He really had that fighter mentality. He'd always come up and say hello to you, and even if it wasn't a fight night, if it was another social event to do, so respectful. He clubbed me good. He broke my nose and he knocked me out. So he owns the rights to the first knockout, my first broken nose ever in that fight. And Carl, he was the ref that night. And we were only talking about it a few minutes ago, about how that fight went. And I'm a pretty tough guy, I think, and I've taken a few clubbings over the year. And Carl let it go, and I'm glad he did, because, you know, I was still in there until he jumped in, and I'm glad he did, because
it was a good striking battle, so they were on their feet for the entire time of that first round. Michael McDaniels was accredited with the fastest knockout with one of the long-standing promotions here in Australia, XFC. He had, I think it was a 4-second knockout in round 1. So for Corey to have lasted, you know, the amount of time that he did with Michael McDaniels was just a testament to his training and his heart.
Yeah, like I would have liked to have gone a bit longer, but it was an honour for me to step in there. And then when it was over, Michael and I were out the back and, you know, gave each other a hug, and we're proud of how the night went. So I had nothing to be ashamed of, and I was in there with an amazing guy, inside and outside of the ring. And it really showed the spirit of all the guys here too. Like, I had 4 of the guys from the gym at the time over at my place that night and that morning, helped me do salt baths and helped get that weight off. So yeah, it was right at that moment, just before the weigh-in, just before that photo was taken, getting that. Fight Cross has been like a family to me for, like I said, the last 8 or 9 years. And like any family, we've had you know, not falling out, but we've separated and gone our own ways. And then I've come back, and the last couple of years has really shown me that who your friends really are, and Fight Cross has always been there for me, and they've always got their back. And I walked back in here today, and I haven't seen some people for well over 6 months, and it's like I spoke to them yesterday, because it does mean so much to me. Walking back in here today, seeing everyone, it was like coming home.